bait and switch, I guess, is what they call it. It's a common phrase, I think mostly by consumer advocates. This is great. Check this out. We as loan officers, we can really, and I'm speaking as, of course, I used to work in the industry, I'm no longer in it, but we can really get you on the hook. We have to order the appraisal. That's all there is to it. The bank, wants us to get that appraisal done. You can't get the loan without, of course, an appraisal. It's going to cost $250, $300. You got to pay for it at the door. It's like an application fee because you've got them now, and guess what? That appraisal is going to be in my bank's name or the mortgage brokerage or whomever. It's great. So now they can't really shop too many other places. Yeah. And then, of course, we can say, oh, well, I just pulled your credit, Mr. Borrower, and don't let anybody else pull your credit. It's true. Look, I mean, seriously, if anybody else pulls your credit, you're going to get hit at 2 to 3 points in your FICO. And nobody wants their credit to go down. They don't want to look like they're desperate, applying all over the place for a mortgage loan, when the reality is they probably, don't have a problem with having to shop around anyway. You'd like to have this little thing of trust, Many Americans have a problem with that whole trust thing, But so now you've got them on this appraisal, and if the borrower looks at this loan at the last minute and says, I don't want to do this. Well, now you're at $250, $300, and you can't necessarily get that appraisal. Oh, by the way, the appraisal is another issue too. They can really get the value they want or whatever. That's another issue. But you got the issue of the whole credit thing, and it's like, wow, you're kind of being pulled around a little bit. I went to lendingtree.com, put in my information or whatever, and now you got a bunch of phone calls coming, and everybody's jumping. You got mortgage brokers calling you, you got bankers calling you, loan officers from different banks. I'll call him, but I get this guy who says, well, you chose that one guy, that's the guy you're going to go with. He pulled your credit, she pulled your credit, whatever, and boom, now you're going forward with this thing. You've already put $250 at the door into an appraisal minimum. They used to be $200, now they're $250. It's more of a hit on you, so you're on the hook more, and of course you're going to be able to get under RESPA, Real Estate Settlement Procedure Act. I don't know the specifics of all these laws. It's kind of embarrassing that I don't know all this stuff. Exactly, considering, if you work in the banking industry, you gotta do your own due diligence with regard to continuing ed. Of course, you can do all this stuff and pass the stupid CE and still not know all the laws and everything and how everything works. But, well, you can know the system in your back office or in your office, behind your cubicle, how this stuff works. But this whole bait and switch thing is great too. We can use these government documents called the Uniform Residential Loan Application to show them a rate. These guys are classic, man. My old colleagues, they do this stuff. They show you the rate, 4.75% or 6.25, whatever, right? Boom, they throw a different rate at you. Check that out. At closing, boom, you give a higher rate. Now what are you gonna do? You spent a month, you spent 2 months, working on this loan, so. You have a problem. Oh, by the way, I've been telling you about this fixed rate and everything, and it's adjustable. It's adjusted. And of course, in the last 2 years, they've been adjusting down for the most part. It'd be a good situation. But, well, if adjustable rate between 05 and 07, it wouldn't look too good for you. And it's adjusting, immediately, like in the first year. Not a good one, too, that they'll do. Countrywide, it doesn't know what. They have these HELOCs, right? Home equity line of credit. And how does this work here? They'll actually on the closing documents, just to get you to qualify for this, okay? The first month is the introductory rate. It is what it is, okay? And then after that month, it jumps up 2%. That's big on the HELOCs, okay? You see these documents and you're promised that all by the loan officer. That's called fraud. It's criminal deception. They're deceiving. They're representing something to you, and that's what it is. Okay, that's what I'm gonna get. And in this society we need to accept this whole thing of trust. How many times have you gone to your computer and clicked the I agree button and not known what you're really agreeing to? I do it all the time. Adobe Acrobat. I agree. Acrobat Reader, boom, hit it, you know. Real one player. I agree, click. It's an electronic signature. You're agreeing to those terms. Of course, we don't read what those terms are, but we're trusting the fact that they're not going to come after us for whatever, you know. If you've ever gone fishing, I mean, I've had some problems with these trout, you know. Maybe you throw a Rapala out there, if it's warm enough, they might hit that, you know, or they'll hit worms, I guess. You know, salmon eggs or minnows. Now, you know, you're the borrower, and I gotta compare. It's bait and switch. It's bait. You're baiting them. You know, maybe there's a falls upstream. I live near, you know, the falls and everything, and of course the trout like to hang out over there. There's a bass or a bluegill too. Bluegill, they're weak, okay, but you know, with the pickerel, they'll fight you. You have the bass and the trout, and they'll fight it. And the trout, I have a problem with trout, okay. You got to have the right line for this, and I've lost them just because I had the wrong line. Okay, you throw it out there, and you want to start reeling it in, but you got to be careful with this, and you got to string this borrower along a little bit. That's how they do it. Oh, but I'm working with my manager to get you a better rate. I'm gonna get that thing locked for you. That's how they do it. It's disgusting. They prey on the hope. That's how they do it. I saw it all the time. Any FDIC member bank, prove that you're not doing this stuff. With the exception of maybe 4 or 5. It's everywhere. Now, yeah, bluegills, you can just reel them in quickly. You don't even need to look at the file sometimes to see the fraud in this stuff. The criminal deception. You just throw it out there and just bring it in a little bit. And you gotta make sure you have the right line though. Remember this trout, they that thing just snaps sometimes, man. And they'll fight it. They'll throw complaints to the Better Business Bureau. They'll throw complaints to the OCC, which is under the Department of Treasury, or OTS. Or they'll go to their Attorney General. They'll throw fits back and forth. Call the bank managers and executives. Oh, well, we fix the problems for you. A month later, you got problems in servicing. Or they'll get their debt collector attorneys after you and try to file fraudulent foreclosure against you. It's just classic. That's how, you know, I saw it, and it's still happening today. It's different, you know. You have to watch my other videos, you know, to see specifically what's happening today. I still communicate with my former colleagues. I'm laughing at this because it's just so prevalent, and you know, the law enforcement agencies are just ignoring it. It's outrageous. But yeah, fishing. What's the bait? Pry and hope. Prey on it all day long. And we, don't even know this.